All right, so thanks for letting me pitch this idea to you. So, all right, so this is my idea. New for Hollywood, brand new reimagining reboot of Harry Potter.
Go on.
Okay, so basically, Hogwarts is a biomechanical corporation creating bioengineered humans. The humans are known as wizards. They're weaponized, intelligent, zetetic, abditive, radiated drone students. And they're created in a Quidditch pitch, and they use special powers. It kind of resembles magic. And the failed experiments are called squibs, and they're used for things like mailroom clerks and janitorial duties. You got me?
Okay.
All right. So the CEO is Dumbledore, and he's been the head of this company for like ever. Okay. All right. So it starts off with like this clickety clacking, and they're on like this express tram, and Harry Potter, he's sitting there, and he's got a couple of other young people kind of sitting around him, right?
Okay.
All right. So he's real nervous. Things are just kind of like happening, and nobody talks for like 20 minutes, right? As this train's going down, and all it is scenery and CGI and green screen, okay? And all of a sudden, this girl, she sits there and she taps on its shoulder and just kind of goes, "Hi, my name's Hermione, and this is Ron."
All right, Ron and Hermione.
Right. Finally, the train comes to a stop, but then robots attack.
So, okay, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You want... this is kind of futuristic, right?
Yeah. And Hermione and Ron are known as mudbloods, which are like Moogles. They're multi-unit gamma-free living entities. They're like genetically enhanced humans, but they're not like created like in the Quidditch pitch. And like and they're part of the Gryffindor project.
Okay.
And Harry Potter, turns out he's a genetically engineered clone from both Voldemort, who was the old CEO, and from Dumbledore. So he's like the ultimate one.
So Harry Potter is a clone of both the good guy and the bad guy.
Exactly.
And the Quidditch patch is where everyone is made except for a few people.
Right.
And you're telling me that it's kind of futuristic and it's still Harry Potter?
Yeah, imagine like Batman Beyond, but Harry Potter.
That is $1 million idea.
I know!
We're doing
this.
That's
just on the song rights alone.
We're doing this. Find me a producer.
Oh, I'm a producer. We can get started tomorrow.
You're hired.
Woo!
Nerd is the new sexy.
That's how new Hollywood movies are made, using old IPs with no intelligence whatsoever, people.
Amen. This is episode 29.
Yes, one away from our boss episode. Oh my god.
Oh, that boss episode is going to be a doozy. I mean, we're not 100% sure what the topic is yet. I got a few ideas in the mix, but the big thing coming is poor Gambit.
Yeah, he's losing.
Poor Gambit.
He's losing.
If you're listening, buddy, and I know you are, I've got wicked evil things in store for you.
Crazy stuff. Maybe butt stuff.
Maybe butt stuff.
Maybe butt stuff. Maybe.
Maybe not, but maybe butt stuff.
We won't throw anything out yet.
Yeah. This episode is about what, Sunrie?
Basically, the utter and complete lack of creativity, and I'm just going to have to say effort in Hollywood movies now. And what kind of started this, Wild goes, maybe we should talk about how, we really aren't too excited for and kind of pissed off about the new Ghostbusters movie. I'm like, how about just how fucked up Hollywood's been lately to begin with?
Well, it wasn't the Ghostbusters movie. You and I were talking about the Ghost in the Shell movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because I had brought that up. And
yeah, we've already talked about the Ghostbusters movie quite a bit.
Yeah, and we're not going to go see it. We're not going to review it. We don't want it. Nobody asked for it. We're not going to give them the money. We're not going to give them the time. We're going to make our voices heard by hitting them in the wallet as a fuck you.
Before we get into the actual subject, let me say this. I'm a huge fan of Dan Aykroyd, but I was very disappointed to say that he kind of backed the movie in this instance. There was
And honestly, he really just wants people to see a Ghostbusters movie. He even said he's just glad that a Ghostbusters movie is coming out.
But let me say this, and after reading, because he says according to the title of the,
It's clickbait.
Yeah,
it says, oh, there's more laughs than all two Ghostbusters.
Well,
it's like, no.
The first
There might be more
Ghostbusters-
jokes, like intentional jokes,
but
that doesn't make it funny.
There's not going to be laughs. That movie is not going to be funny. It's not going to. There may be a chuckle here and there, but it's not from. If it's anything like what we've seen so far, it's going to be sad. And let me say this, Dan Aykroyd, I respect you. You're a wonderful human being. I like the way you seem like a great guy from what I've read.
I've heard good things and I've read good things.
But
same with Bill Murray.
This bandwagon thing that you're doing, this jumping on the hype, which isn't hype, like we've said on Twitter.
He just doesn't want it to fail because in the future, if he ever makes something new, he wants people to see Ghostbusters.
I understand that, but at the same time, if it's not a good movie, tell us. Be honest with us.
Yeah.
At least Ernie Hudson had the balls to say it.
Yep. And Bill Murray, I'm telling you right now, the reason Bill Murray has signed on to do those Ghostbusters is he saw how terrible it is and said, I will do it because he knows people will now stop fucking bothering him about Ghostbusters and him being in such a great movie. And why didn't he want to do another one? People will finally shut up and leave him alone.
Maybe he'll do a book in the future, I'm Not Peter Venkman.
Yeah.
And then do another one called I Am Peter Venkman.
Yeah.
I love you, Leonard Nimoy. Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode's about, the basic unoriginality in Hollywood today.
And if anybody hears any noise in the background, Wild is in California. I'm in Nevada. We're both basically in the desert areas of the state. Oh, I know. Nevada is all desert. Fuck you. Well, I mean, it's kind of true. But
no, it is, dickface.
Yeah, it is. So if you hear anything, it's the ACs are going pretty good because it is still 90 degrees at my place and it's 102 over at Wild's, and it's about 9 o'clock at night and it's not cooling down.
Yeah, we're in hell.
Yeah.
But
I might be like next to the heat being produced from hell, but you are actually in Satan's butthole.
Yeah, see, you actually worded that exactly how I was going to say it. In Satan's butthole. I am lodged firmly up Satan's scrotum. In Central California, I'll just put it that way. Desert.
Yeah, he's
reformed desert. Reformed desert.
But yeah, that's what the noises are, is fans and AC, because our balls are literally sweating right now.
Oh yeah, we got some fucking swamp ass going.
But yeah,
sexy thought, right?
Sexy thought. Nerd is the new sex.
That's what I was gonna say. God damn it.
Seriously, what? I don't know exactly when this really kind of started. I know it was a couple years ago, and I remember thinking, wow, they really set the bar low. As it can possibly go with fucking Battleship the movie. I honestly thought it was a joke.
Yeah, so did I at first. I got to admit, yeah, Battleship was a horrible idea, but it was at the same time, like, I was like, I'm not going to watch it, but I ended up watching it at my parents' house when it was on, like, HBO or something, and I was kind of entertained.
And here's the most ironic part about this is Battleship is a fun game to sit down and play. It's a somewhat entertaining movie. The video game is so fucking shit.
Never played it.
It is amazingly bad, and because the people couldn't animate lips and stuff like that, all the soldiers are literally just in helmets, so you don't even see their faces, and
that's funny.
Weird shit.
That's fucking great.
So just really stupid stuff like that, and
I forgot they made a game. Be honest, and that just goes to show you.
Yeah, video game.
Yeah.
I think, and this is how it was even before that, because Robot Chicken did a skit about Hungry Hungry Hippos the movie and freaking Chutes and Ladders the movie, and it's like, that's
and shit like that. I remember that.
Yeah, it's kind of where we're headed with this bullshit. And
which they're right. Stop. They're pretty right. On a lot of that.
Fucking, you know what it was? I think it was around the time that Hansel and Gretel Jack the Giant Slayer came out. That's when I knew shit was really fucking starting to go downhill. And let me say this, and I don't know anybody who's reviewed this movie like Nostalgia Credit. I haven't seen him do it. I haven't seen some of the other people do it. Why is there a romantic fucking subplot in Jack and the Beanstalk?
See, I've never seen the movie. I never
And I'm
was
not
interested in it.
Yeah, and CinemaSins does this running gag where every time someone picks up an apple, they go, the director said, hey, pick up this apple and take a bite out of it and make you look even more like an asshole. He is on to something, because let me tell you something. There was one scene after Jack is an asshole to, I think it's his father or something. It is someone in his family member. He's a huge asshole to, and it is only this one scene. Anybody picks up an apple, and it's him, and he's talking to, I believe, his cat as he's taking a bite, going, oh, you just think that I'm so rude or I'm mean or something like that. It's like no other time in the movie does any other character act this way or eat an apple, and it's that one scene where he is being an asshole, talking about him being an asshole, and he's eating a fucking apple.
See, I've never seen it. And also
It's bad.
on top of that, I've never cared to see it because anyone who knows about Jack and the Beanstalk knows that Jack isn't really a giant slayer.
No.
It's all Forrest Gump.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then Hansel and Gretel came out. Now, I will say this. I saw Jack and the Beanstalk on Netflix with my wife. We were just like, this is bad. Then we saw Hansel and Gretel, and we kind of went, well, this is entertaining.
Hansel and Gretel was all right.
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel, I actually had fun with that movie. And
then
then
the dude who played that Archer from fucking
Yes.
Avengers. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Can't
And
remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember what his name is either. I know he plays Hawkeye, but I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, we just don't care. The most useless Avenger ever.
Actually,
ever.
I
Like
think
Cypher with the X-Men.
Yeah, I actually think he's a really cool actor. I'm just.
Oh no, he's a great actor. It's just
Yeah. So.
And then we saw Red Riding Hood, and it was like, this is fucking terrible too.
Wait, Red Riding Hood. Give me an example. Tell me what that's about.
Obviously,
it's Red Riding.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, but who's in it?
I couldn't even tell you their names.
Oh, okay.
And it's really awkward. Like there is some weird undertones of pedophilia and virginity.
I've never seen it. No. I'm glad I haven't seen it.
Like, I'm not kidding. Like, there's this really weird thing that goes on with the woodsman and Little Red Riding Hood, and she gives him her red cloak, the most precious thing to her. And it was really, I even remember looking at my wife going, was that a pedophile reference?
Was that
a sexual
thing? For fucking virginity to the
It was kind of what it was. It was really fucking awkward, and I was like, oh.
How old was she in the movie?
In the movie, I think she was like 13.
Jesus.
12 or 13. Yeah, so it was like that really awkward. What the fuck?
Yeah. We wonder why the kids these days are giving it up early.
Yeah, it was just weird. And then there was another one that I think it was just called Riding Hood or something.
Yeah, there's one that I'm thinking about that has Felicia Day in it.
Yes, and I seen that one. That one wasn't actually as bad, but it was still just as awkward. It turns out it
was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was just like, wait a minute, okay, so they're werewolves?
Because I watched it. I watched it the day it came out because I have this thing for Felicia Day. She's a redhead and she's hot.
Who doesn't?
God, Felicia Day. There are things I would do to you that's like illegal in every state. I would whip your leg.
It wasn't bad when they did Alice in Wonderland, but here was what was really weird.
See, when
Alice, I thought it was entertaining because it was like, oh, okay, so this is like a continuation of the Disney version. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that they're doing it this way. And I remember, and then watching, kind of going, wait a minute. So now it's kind of through the looking glass, but she still goes down the rabbit hole. And there's, so it was really confusing. But the Disney version was really messed up to begin with.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was neat. But now they're doing through the looking glass, and I'm kind of going, well, how do you kill the Jabberwocky and have Alice going back to Wonderland and then doing through the looking glass? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because the through the looking glass was her second fucking time to Wonderland, right?
Right. Yeah, and in this one, the Alice in Wonderland is actually Alice goes back to Underland because it was turned out that it's not Wonderland, it's the Underland.
Oh, fuck my life.
Because she was mispronouncing it originally, and they kind of suggest it's the first time she meets the Red Queen and tells her to paint the roses, but she makes that reference at the tea party, meaning she had already been there and done that. It's
confusing.
It's a fucking mess anyway. But at least I was entertained. I thought, what's his name? Johnny Depp was an interesting hatter. However, I don't think he even understood what accent he was supposed to have.
I agree.
Kind of like Dolph Lundgren in Masters of the Universe.
I agree about the accent, but I will disagree. He was a horrible hatter.
You think so?
Horrible.
I think for the version in the world, it was okay.
But I didn't look at it that way. There's only one Mad Hatter in my mind, and you know where I'm going with this.
Oh, Tom Petty?
Tom fucking Petty.
Yeah.
You guys have never seen him and don't come around here no more of that. The music video? Perfect.
That is actually what got me hooked on Tom Petty.
Yes. Perfect.
Was that music video.
Perfect Mad Hatter. Oh.
Yeah, the tattoo on my left shoulder blade actually is actually based off of his design for the Mad Hatter.
Yeah. Oh, just perfect Mad Hatter. So anything, it's almost like Kevin Conroy not being Batman.
Yeah.
You know, like, so if I see, and Johnny Depp, just let me put it this way. Johnny Depp takes on the awkward roles now. That's all he does.
Yeah.
And I've said it before. I've said it like this before, and I'll say it again on the podcast. Johnny Depp needs to step back into the box because thinking out of the box is getting boring.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm tired of seeing him act like the drunk pirate or the retarded Mad Hatter, or, you know, it was cute when he was Edward Scissorhands. Now, not so cute. Now it's years later. It's the same shit. Come on, dude. This is why Will Ferrell isn't very funny anymore.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. As much as I was originally interested in seeing the Ninja Turtles and then hearing Michael Bay with this fucked up version of everything and then get pissed off and then, you know, catching it on the Netflix and still being pissed off about it.
Still never seen it. Only seen bits and pieces.
Yeah. I am going to go see the new one.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is where I think they're starting to get kind of things right with sequels. Unlike video games where the second game is always well, I shouldn't say always, but almost, I'd say
more
99
often than not.
99% of the time is better than the first game that came out. Generally, the movie sequels are fucking terrible.
There are only a few real good exceptions to this. Aliens.
Right. Yeah, Aliens. That's a good one. And I don't mean that facetiously. I really do mean it.
Aliens is amazing.
Aliens was. You know what, though? I won't say it was better. I would say that it's a better action movie than the first one. But the first one is more traditional horror, scary.
And we will have a damn podcast on Aliens.
Yeah, we will. I want to see the second one, and I think they took a look at what they did wrong in the first one, and all the criticism and all the hate, and somebody went, "We can fix this."
Yeah.
And they've gone cartoony. That's what I'm hoping for. Ralph is all freaking jacked. He's got,
and Rocksteady. Bebop and Rocksteady.
There's Bebop and Rocksteady finally. Now,
we have been waiting for Bebop and Rocksteady since we were children.
What I'm really hoping for, though, is in this is I want to hear a little bit more animal-y from Bebop and Rocksteady. Not just the same voices that they had as when they were humans. Because even in the cartoon, they were kind of like those punk, so typically 80s hairband style
like
white
they came
dudes.
out of a Beat It. The Beat It music video.
Right, and their voices kind of changed when they become animals, and now it seems kind of they're the same, but their lines have been funny. The animation looks good for what it is.
Like Bebop and Rocksteady.
They look like
retarded
Bebop
versions of like the Turtles when they first brought the Turtles out in that atrocious movie where they're all buff and fucking retarded looking. That was just too much. That was just too much. They should have kept like a basic. I understand they want to change it to the point where it make it him and he wants to make it his or whatever. Michael Bay wants to make it his, but at the same time, you don't make the Ninja Turtles too buff. They're not fucking Schwarzenegger in his prime.
Right.
They should.
Yeah, and and then you've got movies like freaking. Oh God, I'm just gonna have to say it because it's the most obvious example right now is the Ghostbusters movie.
Oh yeah.
We have wanted a new Ghostbusters movie. Now, when I heard it was an all-female cast, I remember the very first thing I said was, well, how are they going to make that work? And me and Wild had speculation on it. And it's like, well, maybe it's going to be a continuation. Maybe.
Which we really hoped it was.
Yeah, we really hoped. And this was just initially when we first heard about it, that, oh, yeah, so it's going to be an all-female cast. I'm like, okay, How are you going to make that work? Because you either have to go one of two ways, and it looks like they went a third way, which is absolutely even worse. One, they're either going to have to act like men, so there's pointless that they're women, or they're going to have to be so completely incompetent and stupid that it's just insulting to women. Well, they decided to go to the third route. Let's just make it like Sex and the City, where nothing's actually funny. but will pretend it's funny and have characters laugh at them.
Well,
And then go fucking racist with the black character. Like we said, we are not social justice warriors. We are not politically correct. Ernie Hudson's character being the everyman worked with him being black, not because he was black, but because he was an everyman, and his character just happened to be the black dude. His character was not black. He was not Richard Pryor.
It wasn't a question of
Eddie
race.
Murphy. Yeah, it wasn't one of those, if you were listening to him and go, oh yeah, that's the black dude. No, but in the new movie, her character is
stereotypical.
Yeah, like racist black, like this is how black people act. That pisses me off.
It's kind of dumb, but you got to remember, the moment I heard who was directing the movie, I believe it was the same.
The guy who did the freaking Sisterhood of the Traveling Panther. No, Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. Once I heard it was the director who did Bridesmaids, I knew where it was going. I knew that McCarthy chick was going to be in it. I knew that it was going to be another Bridesmaids with with proton packs, like we've said in the past.
Yep. And I was pissed off when I heard it was going to be Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, and I'm like, oh fuck no!
I could have lived with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. Why? Because it could have been a continuation.
And that's what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Now, see, what we were also hoping. Yeah.
What's his name? It could have been the son of fucking Sigourney Weaver's character.
Yeah. Actually, and that was one of the ideas pitched was that they were going to bring Oscar back.
Yeah.
And he was going to be one of the new Ghostbusters. And he was basically going to be the new Venkman.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, fuck no. And then I seeing the pictures of what, like, some of the here's what the new Ecto-1's going to look like. And remember going, that looks like shit.
I remember that.
And thank God they scrapped that and got something else. And even though it still looks like shit.
Well, the new Ecto.
So then we're like,
old Ecto, but it's more feminine.
So then like I was saying, so we're like, oh, well, maybe, just maybe, they're going to say, oh, well, this isn't a reboot. They bought into the franchises. That's what the game was about. This is going to be about female Ghostbusters outdoing their own thing. Okay, well, maybe that'll be cool. No.
It's a reboot.
It's a reboot.
The first two movies never fucking happened. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So even going, look at them and we're like, well. That still doesn't make sense because basically the Ghostbusters are exterminators.
More or less.
And I'm just looking at this in the realistics. So I even asked my wife, I said, Cuteness, just knowing what you know about Ghostbusters from seeing both movies with the extended versions and everything like that, would you and any of your friends get together and go, let's go do that? She goes, no. I said, okay. Now taking that out of the equation, let's say for some reason you and your friends get kicked out of college. Would you suddenly go, you know what? Let's go be exterminators. Let's go take care of pests and vermin. She goes, absolutely not. She goes, I don't know any woman who would get together with a bunch of her female friends and say, let's go do that. I said, exactly. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now, I'm not saying there aren't women who do that because there's a few. It's just, it doesn't make sense to do it. And then to literally take the entire cast and go, whoever was male, make female. Whoever's a female, make male. Ghosts literally look like somebody went, hey, what effects did you not use for the Scooby-Doo movies? All right, we'll just take those.
Yeah, that's what generally pisses me off is the fact that the ghosts, like, they took a really scary concept. Let's look at this compared to the first movie. Ghosts in the first movie, okay, were still scary.
They're terrifying. The opening scene.
Yes.
3 men go down there. They see a ghost floating there. Their reaction is, holy shit.
Yeah.
And they even back off and they're like, wow, what do we do? We've never actually encountered this before.
Yes, exactly.
The ghost screams at them. They go running out like little bitches.
Exactly. And
screaming. In the new movie, it screams at her, vomits on her, and the reaction is, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Exactly.
So that's not funny. Comedy is time and pain. It has to do with pain somehow, either your expectations of an event or something like that. But nobody's scared of ghosts in this. They're at a rock concert and people got selfie sticks.
Yeah, see that right there is another thing.
Thor gets, and I'm going to keep calling him Thor.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call him. He's Thor. He's not fucking whatever his name is.
Thor gets possessed and starts doing wheelies up and down the street on a dirt bike. Because he's awesome now.
I don't care.
The mayor's a woman. And I don't have a problem with that, but I'm just showing you the comparison. All the Ghostbusters are female when they were male. All of the city officials are now, whoever was male is female. The mayor's female.
They swapped it.
They just literally just went, gender swap it.
Took some of the ideas from the game
Oh yeah, it's basically the game, but all females and not funny.
Yeah. So without spending too much time on Ghostbusters, because we've talked about Ghostbusters
Pissed
a lot.
off about it.
We're very pissed
And it
off.
just, like I said, it just goes to show this whole lack of imagination. Now, one person who I think did get it right, and I know Gambit just is like, God damn it, no, is Star Trek.
Yeah,
With it being a reboot. Now, here's why I think it works.
The
and people
first one,
accept,
in my opinion. And
yes,
that's
not the second one.
None of the others. Yeah.
Now, I am excited about the third one.
Not me, but
Okay, from what I've seen of it and the trailers and stuff like that, I'm actually excited for the third one. My question on it just is, did Starfleet decide to completely eradicate the cure for death and everything else? Because that's going to be a huge issue here.
yeah, well, I mean,
From the second one. The reason I think people weren't so angry over a reboot of Star Trek is they're saying, look, all the original movies happened.
yeah,
The
it's a different
characters
timeline.
still happened. All the shows you saw happened. This is a different timeline.
This is a what if.
This is a what if, almost kind of fan fiction, kind of not. It's canon by itself, does not affect Star Trek, Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, nothing.
Nothing. You know what
It
I
all
think?
still happened. And just this whole reimagining stuff that we're talking about here, I don't get it.
Well-
They don't have. Let's take Scooby-Doo, because I brought up Scooby-Doo earlier. The reimagining with Scooby-Doo. You don't have the chops for it. You don't have the talent. That's what's pissing me off about this. Is everyone looking at this going, "Oh, well, Scooby-Doo, I remember that," or even Goosebumps. Yeah, I can make that better. You can't. You don't have the talent.
Well, let's look at something like the Spider-Man reboots. In fact, that's where I want to say a lot of that started.
Actually, I think you're right.
The Spider-Man, where they got because Tobey Maguire was doing. Am I saying his name right? Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire was doing really good on the Spider-Man movies. In fact, the dude went out of his way and hurt himself by accident while doing the movies. And I want to say the first two movies were the first one was amazing. The second one was The third one
you can't beat William Dafoe completely out of his mind.
Oh.
I don't even think he was acting. I think they just put him in front of a mirror. I think they put him in front of a mirror in the smoking jacket and went, "Everybody back out of the room."
Hey, William Dafoe, here's a few beers, buddy.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's actually when I mean a few.
It's a biography.
Yeah, and he's in there. He's really just talking about, I want to kill someone. I gotta kill Spider-Man. And then he's like looking around, not even know what set he's on.
Yeah.
He's doing like the Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, he probably thought that he was auditioning for Daybreakers.
Yeah, but the new Spider-Man movie came out, and it was kind of
the Ultimate.
Yeah, well, was it Ultimate Spider-Man? Whichever the
Or is that the Amazing?
I think it was the Amazing or the Spider-Man. I don't remember. But
the
it was
Amazing Spider-Man. Or something.
But it was the Spider-Man where like Peter Parker got all emo. He was all dark haired and he was.
Oh, you're talking about the third one?
Yeah, well, not the third one. I'm talking about the one they remade Spider-Man.
Oh, see, I haven't seen any of the new ones.
They made two of them. I mean, they both sucked, in my opinion. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. Like he's emo and he did do the whole wisecracking thing, but he wasn't as cool. And I don't know. Like I said, Tobey Maguire nailed it, in my opinion. As far as
and those movies weren't even all that great, but they had some memorable lines.
Well, let's be honest. Tobey Maguire was probably the best Spider-Man so far.
Yeah,
with the exception of maybe the new guy who's playing in.
In Civil War.
Which I have yet.
I have yet to see that.
But we got that, and then we've got, of course, the one movie that we knew was gonna flop. Sunrie and I we heard about it when it was coming out, and we're like, oh, this is one, it's too soon for them to remake this movie, and two, it's a horrible subject and it's fucking stupid. The Fantastic Four.
Yeah. There's so much you can work with, and yet they fuck it up every time.
The original Johnny Storm was white, okay?
Right.
They were brother and sister. There was no adoption. So
right. See, that's what I have the problem with. They're doing things just for money and doing things.
They're doing it so that they can like bring in the audience, like, oh yeah, this and that, and you can relate to this guy, and that's just the wrong way of doing it. Don't.
Well, it's just like how they've completely changed. Was it Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Where now it's God, what is her? Is it Meryl Streep?
I can't remember.
It's something like that.
I haven't been keeping up with Doctor Strange.
Instead it's a white woman living, and I want to say. God, I forget. They changed it so bad because China doesn't like Tibet. And so Doctor Strange being a Tibetan, basic kind of like philosopher, a mystic, monk type thing. 13% of the revenue coming from China, they didn't want to offend the Chinese. So they changed it to something completely different for money reasons. That's what's fucking wrong. I'm not talking about Scarlett Johansson as Kusanagi in the new Ghost in the Shell movie, because let me tell you something. I've seen the shots side by side, both the anime, the 3D versions, and then seen her in the same position with the same expression. She fucking looks like her. Now, here's where I also think that people shouldn't get offended with this. We don't know if Kusanagi is even a woman originally, or...
They never really even tell us.
Kusanagi, she is confused over her origins. There are times where she remembers things that she doesn't understand why she remembers. And she's a lesbian, kind of, maybe, because she has the dolls.
To it, yeah.
There's hints, but there's also hints that at one point maybe she was a man.
Yeah.
And that she's just been in this type of... And she's been in a shell so long, she doesn't remember... And I only say she because that's who we're presented as her favorite shell.
Yeah, every time you see her, she's a female. Yeah,
and it kind of hints that at one point she had cancer or something, and she was put into a new shell, and she was originally a little tiny girl. And there's hints at that, but we don't know if she was the girl or the boy in that episode. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's hints that she may have been the little boy, not the little girl.
Yeah, it's
very, very cloudy. And the point is, you are always who you are based on your soul, not what you are on the outside.
Yes.
That is what's important about that anime. And I hate to get philosophical and almost political in that, but that's why that is important. That is why.
Well, that's how it should be in life.
And
that's not even political. That's just how it should be.
That's just that. Right. They went around to a bunch of people in Japan showing the pictures of the new Ghost in the Shell movie, and they all said the same thing. She looks amazing. She looks like the character. It's more anime to have her than a Japanese because of how the drawing style is with the wide eyes and the...
We like you very much.
I'm excited for it. I really am. Yes,
We like her very much. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, and they all said, this is fine. This looks great. And what people are upset about is it's Scarlett Johansson playing a quote-unquote Japanese character who there's not even evidence to fully support that Kusanagi is even Japanese.
Well, it's like I told you on the phone the other day, a lot of anime females are based upon American women.
American white women. The big breast, round butt, small
blonde
hips.
Hair, blonde hair,
tall.
Come on, guys. If you guys don't see this, then you guys are blind.
Yeah, and they also, and again, they all said the same thing. She looks like an anime. It looks more anime when the actors are not Japanese, and where people are having a problem with it is it's Scarlett Johansson surrounded by a almost completely Japanese cast. It's but they did that. I don't think they were doing a whitewash. I honestly think they were just going for we can make her look like the character.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I think it's going to be one of the better movies coming out.
I heard here's another thing that I'm kind of irritated about. Now, only because I know Wild isn't a big fan, but me and my wife have seen almost every episode of every generation, of every version, Power Rangers. And Cuteness is back there laughing right now and kind of nodding. Now, it's going to be its own timeline. It's only going to be the movies, and they're just calling it Power Rangers.
They're making a Power Rangers movie?
They're making a Power Rangers movie called Power Rangers.
Oh, fuck me.
Because Hollywood, they're out of ideas. And I know there's a lot of good books. I mean, shit, look how great, and I'm sure people who have read in detail over and over and over again the freaking Song of Fire and Ice for what we call Game of Thrones. And they've done a fantastic job, and I know people who will argue with me saying, oh, no, they didn't because the book. The book is better. No shit.
The book is always going to be better, guys.
Jurassic Park was an amazing movie. Yes, the book was even better. I know.
Harry Potter was an amazing movie, but the book was even better.
Yeah, I never even really saw the movies on Harry Potter. I just know of it.
You know, it's a really good book.
Yeah, I think the second book was out before I'd even heard of Harry Potter.
Yeah, you know, it was a really good book.
Yeah, and everybody was
telling
me,
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, another good example.
It was a comic.
I think it was a comic. Yeah, and I even remember them saying, "Wow, they really screwed this up."
The movie was horrible.
Yeah, and everything like that. And, again, somebody is going to go, well, I can do Power Rangers better than the original. You probably can't. You can't. Look at the remakes of Total Recall.
Oh, Total Recall's a great example, or RoboCop.
Yeah. And so what they did in Total Recall, especially, is they took a movie that everyone remembered and said, okay, well, we can make money on this because people remember this movie, and we're going to make money based off of that, and we're going to make it our own. Oh my God, all you did was keep referencing the better movie.
Yeah.
Sure, it was a little, some things were a little closer to the book. We Can Remember For You Wholesale is what the book was called. But oh my God, it was dry. It was boring. You took everything that was great about the first one and went, nah, just get rid of it. It's corny, it's stupid. That's why the movie worked. That's why it worked.
Yeah.
And then you take RoboCop and once again, sterilize everything. Say, fuck it.
Oh, RoboCop was horrible. The new RoboCop movie.
And instead try to make it a social commentary about drones.
Yep.
I don't like drones either. Now, I support the right of people who want to go out and fly remote control one, because guess what? I'm in the public. Fucking sucks to be me. I live in America where you have to take the good with the bad with that.
Yep.
But God, and military and law enforcement shouldn't be buzzing them around my house and shit like that. And I have seen them when I've been out fishing in Colorado.
Yeah.
And military drones. But fuck! You are not good enough to remake this movie. And I heard...
The movie sucked.
I have heard here and there that they are remaking Goonies as well.
I have heard that as well.
And all I'm thinking is, you are not going to be able to make a movie good enough to compete with the original Goonies.
Because the Goonies were good enough.
Yeah, you watch Goonies today, and yes, it's a corny, campy movie, and there's a lot of, well, why wouldn't they just do this? And what the fuck about this? But,
that was the 80s.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's still an enjoyable movie. Like, for instance, I even remember when I first saw the movie, and they go there, and one, why would a business only be a summer place? And if it is only a summer place, why is it so fucking run down?
Yeah.
And two, knowing that those people were in there, and that they were going to let you leave if you didn't keep fucking around in there, let them leave, then go back for the treasure.
Yeah.
Could have avoided all that shit.
Yeah. Or you could have stayed on the fucking ship when it got, let go. And then steered it to land. Because there's a shit ton of fucking gold on there, and you only took, a bag full? Fuck you.
Full. Yeah. So, yeah, just... again, it's not supposed to make sense. It's a fun movie, just like Indiana Jones. And I don't understand why people think that they can reimagine things and it be better when it's obviously not. And you've got talent like Wyldfyre. And look, I'm going to start tooting our own horn and pulling on my own dick here.
Oh, fuck.
And, and jiggling my massive balls. You're probably standing on them right now. It's one of the planets.
His E-penis.
My balls are huge. I know there's other talent out there who can actually do something original and funny. But Hollywood, for whatever reason, doesn't want to do it. And that's the problem. You've got these fucking people who just sit behind a desk all damn day looking at charts and looking at statistics and going, well, this is popular right now. This is popular. That's how we got fucking Fred, what was it, 3 Fred movies? The fuck? What the fuck, guys? Why do you think movies like Something About Mary?
Good movie.
What's so popular? Fucking Kevin Smith came out of fucking nowhere. Came out of his mother's goddamn basement.
Another good nerd.
Yeah, came out of his mother's basement with a blunt 8 times the size of my dick, so it's impressive. And just goes, I got a goddamn movie. And everybody was like, oh my God, yeah, you do.
Yeah, and it's those kinds of people that Hollywood needs to listen to. Not these fucktards who are like, hey, you know what, dude, check this out. I got this for you. This is the great idea. It's called The Matrix 12.
Not like a continuation of Matrix, but Matrix 12. Everybody's 12 years old.
it's like Neo when he was 12, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
And instead of just kind of subtly hinting at what Neo is in the beginning, like on the first movie, where
he knows magically.
Yeah, the guy who takes his ID that was made for him by Neo and says, "You're my savior." We're gonna come straight out and the imagery. Neo's gonna be sitting there with a halo and nails in his hand and a god robe and bleeding out of his side. Jesus. And it's going to start with him standing in the shower with his arms held out, looking up at the sky with a light on him.
Let me put it this way: The Matrix is a really good example of what we're trying to prove here. Okay, the
Wachowski kind of sisters.
Well, no, the Matrix 1 was an amazing movie. Okay, a lot of people loved it. A lot of people thought it was awesome, and then we look forward to the Matrix 2, which was kind of a disappointment.
Yeah, and honestly, that was kind of our fault as fans.
Well, I'm getting to something here. In the Matrix 1, our minds have already been blown.
I mean, they don't hold up too well now, but the movies themselves were good.
Our minds have already been blown. So They tried to blow our minds again in Matrix 2. Now, this is where I'm getting with this. It's the same idea with a remake of a movie. In Ghostbusters, our minds were already blown. Okay,
Yeah, we had never seen anything like it.
yeah, you remake Ghostbusters? Nah. No, Superman, no here.
Yeah.
No.
No, we need more lemon pledge.
So it's just and that's a great example for it, is, you know, because everything after the Matrix just simply wasn't as good.
Yeah. And the ending was kind of terrible. And I even remember watching the third Matrix movie and going, you know what? This last fight is pretty damn awesome. But why didn't the Matrix just shut down that Matrix and make a new one like it did 3 other times before?
Then that's the point. It's
And why could the Matrix suddenly start affecting real life people? It would have made more sense if they never actually were out of the Matrix and they were just accessing one of the other previous Matrix.
well, there's so many, and in the movie there's so many different loopholes.
And why didn't Neo, when he opened up the balcony, just turn around and go back the other way instead of trying to fly around the world?
Yeah, I don't know. There's just so much bullshit in that movie.
And what is the economy like in Angel Grove if it has an entire fucking district of empty warehouses? Oh,
What?
sorry, I was getting on a tangent. Wow. Woo!
Yeah, that was a hell of a tangent. Angel Grove?
Yeah, Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Angel Bay Crest Grove High School.
Oh, fuck.
That's my parodies.
Fuck you, Power Rangers. You let me down. I was hoping for another Voltron, but we got Power Rangers.
Yeah. You know, and I gotta say, if Hollywood would do things correctly, I don't think people would be as upset. Take Doctor Who, for example. The reason us Whovians are okay every time there's a new Doctor and his personalities change and the storylines are somewhat different is because every time he changes, he's a completely different person.
There's an interesting
And so it's almost like it's almost like it's a reboot without it being a reboot. It's the same guy. Everything still happens. It's just different now.
Well, they wrote
Nothing's
it in
taken
smart.
away from us. Right.
They had someone with a brain explain it in kind of a scientific way, but not so scientific-y that we couldn't understand it, or, you know, not so stupid that it was just fucking ridiculous. And so, you know, it's one of those things you go, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, can you imagine rebooting The Simpsons and instead of it being, you know, what The Simpsons were and just saying, okay, you know what, we're starting fresh. We're just going to make it so that, you know, The Simpsons have been going on for so long. We're just going to reboot it like it's the very first episode and start from there. But Homer is now
a gay guy.
Okay, yeah. Homer is now a gay guy who's a rocket scientist. Marge is a super fat, stay-at-home mom, but she's an internet model and a celebrity.
Yeah.
Bart is super, super smart and super good-looking.
Lisa's a whore.
And Lisa, well, I was going to say, Lisa is actually now a talking cat.
I like that.
And, yeah, well, she'd be less annoying.
Yeah.
And Maggie is their social worker. The brand new Simpsons. And it's all 3D.
Yeah, like everything else should be. Like they think everything should be.
Yeah, and it's done in the animation style like Reboot.
Yeah, 3D animation, guys, is great. It was great when it first came out. There's a time and place for it, but not every fucking show, like cartoon / whatever, should be fucking 3D on TV.
Yeah, I will say this. DreamWorks seems to have it right when it comes to things like How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2. Fuck, those were good movies.
Well, they have a show on. They actually have an actual show.
The writers of...
the writers of Berk, and then they have the Protectors or something of Berk on Netflix.
Yeah. And I like them because the animation's very stylized, and you know I like the movies. I didn't think the second one was as good as the first.
I never seen it. Didn't see the second.
First one was amazing. I loved it. The second one I thought was a little too cliche. There were so many times where even Cuteness was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna do." I said, "No, they're not gonna do that. This is gonna happen." And sure as shit, all that kind of stuff happened. I still enjoyed the movie.
Like we said, not all the sequels can be great.
Yeah, here's another the reimagining and the reboots of Poltergeist.
Oh God! You mean that movie that was supposed to be scary but turned out it wasn't?
Yes. I don't even know where to start with this.
The original was fucking terrifying as a child.
It was. And yes, the graphics weren't you know, don't hold up very well, and there's some very quirky, corny type things on it. The fuck? How? It's It's Poltergeist, and it's not like the reimagining of the goddamn Brady Bunch with the Brady Bunch movie, which was freaking hilarious. Because the entire thing was a commentary parody of the actual show.
Well, it's
done
shit
correctly.
that we question. Like,
yes,
shit that everyone questioned growing up. Like,
oh wait, so if she's not really our sister, yeah, that means we're not really related. And they're going in the shower together. It's just, it's funny. That's funny, and they're still like 70.
Great.
Yeah, they're still like 60s, 70s, but it's in the 1990s.
Yeah,
and that's funny.
Or even the since we're on that. The Beverly Hillbillies, that was a fucking amazing reboot.
Okay, that one actually was kind of funny. That was a good reimagining because it was a commentary parody of the original show. The Clampetts themselves I thought were good. Now, the overall movie I don't think was that great.
Could have been better.
Really weird.
Could have been better.
Yeah, but how they did those characters with Jethro and Ellie Mae and everything like that.
The grandma was spot on.
Freaking spot on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great.
And that one I would say was a 50-50 toss-up. They had too modern of a stuff around people with acting like they didn't notice how odd they were.
California howdy, fucking finger, their flop.
That was pretty funny. Yeah. But what I was saying with Poltergeist is you've got this incredible movie to take everything from. It was like they didn't know if they wanted to try to make it a commentary like Beverly Hillbillies kind of was and the Brady Bunch definitely was. It was like they were trying to go 50-50. Well, let's be scary. And then all of a sudden, like at one day, they decided, no, let's not be scary. And then the next day, you know what? Yeah, let's definitely be scary. And then they forget that they were making a scary movie and they're trying to make a comedy. Then all of a sudden, they're like, well, let's try to make something that's funny but kind of scary. And then they forgot what they were doing and tried to remake and then started to try. And again, just kind of make references to the original goddamn movie that was better than the fucking remake.
Well, we're talking about these remakes, and we did forget one.
What's that?
Evil Dead.
Okay, here's why I think that worked. Even freaking Bruce, don't call. Hey, I laugh every time I say this.
Me Ash.
Bruce, don't call me Ash Campbell. Says it's a different Ash.
Well, it's a female.
Yes, but see that, and that's the thing. Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2. And Army of Darkness still happened.
Yep. It wasn't a reboot. It
wasn't a reboot. It wasn't a remake.
Yeah.
It was similar events.
Something different, but not
not
at the same time.
And there's even talk of old Ash with the new Ash meeting up, which is what the whole Evil Dead TV show was supposed to kind of hint at. And they were going to meet back up, and she was going to be so angry that he was old and bitter, and he was going to be so angry that she was so young and stupid. and not stupid like because she was a ditz, but just she's young and brash, and
she's ignorant to not being old and wise.
To the deadlings and everything like that, or the Deadites.
Deadites
and everything like that, and he's been through all of this. And they were supposed to kind of come together in a new movie, which I really hope is still happening.
We'll see. The TV show, I should probably watch the rest of it. I still haven't.
Ash versus the Evil Dead. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Ash versus the Evil Dead. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, which was good. I have my reservations on it, which I told you, Sunrie.
Yeah.
But it's still all right. I want to watch the rest of it before I say I like it or dislike it. I think the problem is right now is I think it has the Duke Nukem complex. Too late.
Yeah, maybe because we've seen it so much since because it kind of started all of that.
It's spoofed on everything, and it's been overdone, and it's like I said, too little, too late.
Yeah,
and that's what breaks my heart is because that series is probably one of the best series started B-rate.
Yeah,
and went fucking big time. Great movie, great series. The Evil Dead, the only show you'll ever see not the only one, but the only non-porn XXX show you'll ever see a tree rape a chick.
Oh yes, yeah.
In the 80s, no less.
In the 80s, yeah. Well, that was kind of common back then.
Not for that kind of movie.
I mean that kind of brutality to women and stuff like that.
I mean that kind of graphic is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
It straight went in her panties. It didn't show nothing, for the time, but that was still very fucking graphic for a B-rate movie. But yeah, the new Evil Dead was a great movie. I think they did a good job on it.
I agree.
Problem is we're probably not going to get nothing of it. I really hope we do.
Yeah, me too.
But with that said and done, I think we'll go ahead and finish this episode.
Yeah, nerds, what are your favorite and most despised remakes and reimaginings? We'd love to hear it too in the comments, and we just love it when you guys interact with us.
As we keep saying, interact with us. Enjoy. Go to the Facebook page. We're getting quite a few hits nowadays, and I'm actually kind of happy.
Yeah, well, apparently you're already interacting with me because according to me, you're walking on one of my balls. So
yeah, stop walking on his balls. Start kicking him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, deforestation is just me shaving.
Anyway, everyone, thanks for listening. We'll see you on episode 30.
Yeah, stay sexy.
Stay sexy.